Okay, so I've talked about the basics on water ice switch before, and now I think it's time to talk on the basics on the dark ice switch. So let's go. So this video is for the people who want to play or who want to switch to dark ice switch, and I just want to give a shout out to this player. So ito na, panoorin mo. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Okay, so before we start, I will explain to you the main attribute of the ice switch so that we will have an idea on what stats or what attributes to focus on. So let's go. In order to check the main attributes, we need to go to skills. Here we can see that the dark element. You click that and then you scroll down. As you can see, there are two up arrows on the power stat or on the power attributes, indicating that we should increase or we should focus on power. So let's check the other skills. Power. Okay, as you can see, there are two up arrows on the power, so that means, again, as I've said, we need to focus on that. As you can see, there are two up arrows on the power, two up arrows icon on the power stat. And now let's go to the character a little bit. When we talk about power, it also says here that adds a 0.5 critical hit boost for every point of power. So what we need to do or what we need to focus on is power and critical hit. So that's the attribute or that's the stat that we will be focusing on in our builds later. Let's check my equipment. My equipments are not yet perfect because this video was made after the release of the FTN, so it's a new content, new boss, and the loots are hard to get sometimes, and we cannot always get the item or the attributes that we want, so it takes time. But just to give you an idea, I will show you one of my equipments. These FDN equipments are not yet perfect, so this equipment is from the SDN, the Sea Dragon. As you can see, its name is Swashbuckler, but when you look at the stats here, you can see that it is power, which is what we need. Again, as I've said earlier, we need power and power / critical hit. So we have power, check, and of course dark, check, and the random attribute should be critical hit. And here in the dragon set attributes, it should be double power, but I know that this dragon set attributes is hard to perfect or hard to get the desired attributes. But again, as I've said, if you can aim for double power. In here I have one power, which is critical hit, and one agility, which is translated to critical hit damage or crit damage. But again, as I've said, we cannot force it to have double power because it is so random. It is RNG based, so it's hard to get double power. But here it should be power, dark, crit hit, and again, as I've said, double power if you can. But if you cannot, it's still okay because this is so random. That's for the equipment. Let's go to the accessories. In accessories also, it's just the same concept. So of course we need to focus on power, and here in the honed attributes we have 4 refines, right? So there are, when we go here, there are, in the attack we can have attack, crit hit, crit damage, final damage, and in the defense we can have defense / HP. So what we are focusing on is our 4 attributes. 4 honed attributes must be pure attack. It doesn't matter if it's attack or crit hit or crit damage or final damage, as long as they are 4 attack and not defense / HP build. But if you're going to have defense or HP in your stat, make sure that it is only 1. Just like this one, I have 3 attack, attack, crit hit, and HP, and it's in the last slot or last refine, so it's okay. Let's check the other equipment accessories. Crit damage, attack, HP, it's good. Attack, HP in the 3rd slot, and critical hit on the last slot, that's still good. Defense, triple attack, triple attack, and 1 HP. So again, as I've said, it doesn't matter as long as there are 3 attacks, whether it's attack, crit hit, crit damage, final damage, and the last one, or there should only be 1 defense or HP, and the other 3 are attack. So that's what we are gonna be aiming for in the refines. Okay, so now let's talk about pet recommendations and pet skills. So the pet that I will be talking about, or I will be sharing about with you, are all pets that have the power attribute, and they are Apocalypse, Manticore, and the Typhoon Krag pet. It's up to you what pet you will use, as long as they are the power pet, 3 power pet. Just pick one of them, it's up to you. And also for the pet skills, we will be using power bonus for power, because that's our main stat, and critical hit, because that is also our main stat, and of course attack bonus for damage, and increased damage output, this is also for damage. Let's go and talk about the skill rotation. Let's go inside the training ground. Let's talk a little bit about the skill. So I have what I call the main damaging skills, which are, you include the buffs because they also give the intelligence aura, gives us 30% more damage, and wisdom's light 2, which increases damage by 10%. So take note. And the other main damage skills are, number 1, the 9th circle. It says here that it also increases attack and power by 10% for 10 seconds upon hitting an enemy, so it's kinda like a buff on yourself, so use it wisely. And the second is the Ice Crystal Blast, which is important because this gives us the Celestial Zone. It says here that Celestial Zone gain a damage boost when the zone is present, magic attack 30%. So it's also like a buff. So we have 4 buffs actually. If we count the pet, then we have 5 buffs, I think. I will show you how to use them properly. So first, you need to cast the buff, this buff, the intelligence aura and the wisdom's light, and then you will cast the 9 circle, this one, 9 circle, for the damage boost. Gain a damage boost when the zone is present, magic attack 30%. And second, the Ice Crystal Blast, which also gives a damage boost when the celestial zone is present. It gives us magic attack, magic damage boost, and you cast your ult after that. So you have 4 buffs: the intelligence aura, wisdom's light, the buff from the 9th circle, and the Ice Crystal Blast, and you use your ult after that. Okay, so I will show you. Oh, by the way, you may be asking why we should, or why I use the 9th circle first. That is because when we look at the pet, like for example, as I've said, the power pet, we have the Apocalypse, Manticore, and Typhoon Krag. In the Apocalypse, it says here, triggers on valid skill hit interval 30 seconds. So Brilliant Beam goes on cooldown every 30 seconds. And the Black Storm, it also says here, triggers on valid skill hit, interval 30 seconds. And the Rabid Pounce, trigger on valid skill hit, interval 30 seconds. So you may be asking, why 30 seconds? Why is that important? When we go to the skill, the 9th circle, where is it? Here. It says here, darkness element of the 9th circle, exclusive to 9th circle, darkness elemental enhancement skill, cooldown is now 30. So basically what that means, when we pay attention to our skill timing, we can use, or we can always get the 9th circle buff, this one, which gives us magic damage boost by 30% when zone is present, and at the same time the buff, or the skill of our power pet, the Apocalypse or Manticore or Typhon Crag. So it's like hitting two birds in one stone. You just need to pay attention to the cooldown. So let's test it. Again, as I've said, buff with Intelligence Aura, and then Wisdom's Light buff, and then the 9th circle buff, which is and also the 30-second pet buff, and the Ice Crystal Blast, and then you ult, and then the rest you just cast your remaining Glacial Fog, Ice Pillar, Glacial Pierce. It's up to you on what order, so let me show you. Buff, you press 9th circle, you see that ice, that is the pet skill of the dragon, and then you ult, and then you just cast the remaining skill. It doesn't matter what order as long as you cast them. And also you cast your skill Geraint. And by the way, you have to pick Geraint in your bond skill because Geraint is power sa strength, so it gives us also power and crit hit. And as you can see, my 9th circle is on cooldown, so when I press this, the Dark Sea Dragon pet will give us the will use the pet skill. So let's see, that ice skill, that's his pet skill, that's the pet skill of the dragon. So that's it for the combo. So this is how you do the combo, or the skill rotation. You buff yourself first, 9th circle, Ice Crystal Blast, and then the ult, and then use your remaining skills. And then in this point you just use basic attack until your skill are on cooldown, and use them again. And just basic attack. The buff are on cooldown now, so let's use it. The 9th circle, and also the pet buff, a pet, and then ult, and you just do this. That's how I do my rotation. It is so easy. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think that's it for the Ice Witch video, the Dark Ice Witch. Thanks for watching.